Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Samuel Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, we're back. Another episode, Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 55. Continuing on with the Halloween-themed episodes this month in October. We're going to go with talking shock rockers today. And, what's better than metal, rock, hard rock, whatever, and horror mixed in. So it's the perfect music for it,
Absolutely. Well, with that being said, we got Ahmed Smith on with again. All right, Ahmed's our steady guy.
Yeah. Dr. A is back.
Dr. A. Dr. A. Yeah, man. So we had Professor Greg last week and Dr. A.
Yeah.
I love it. Damo, shock rock. Who do you want to start off with?
All right. I think we'll start out with the first name that comes to mind when I hear shock rock, and there was guys before him, but I think this guy kind of wrote the book, and that's Alice Cooper, like the original Alice Cooper
first.
band, man. Yeah, there was guys before him like Screamin' Jay Hawkins.
Yeah, which we'll get into. Definitely get into.
A couple others, but he's definitely the one that when you think of like originators, or if there was like a king of shock rock, I think it would be Alice Cooper.
He kind of perfected it.
Yeah, he really brought the theatrics in, almost like you're at like I don't want to say musical, but like a hard rock.
Made it a show.
He made it a total show with the electric chair and stuff like that. He really set the standard, for people, for bands generations to come,
And he's still as awesome today.
Yeah.
Still sounds
timeless.
Great.
Yeah.
I don't think that guy's ever quitting.
And the cool thing is, because he's always put that makeup on and had that look. It's timeless. He looked like he was 70 years old when he was 25.
He
That's the
older
best
then.
part.
Yeah.
That's the best part about Alice now and his makeup. I think he looks cooler now that he's older in it,
right?
Than he did when he was younger in it.
Yeah.
And he did have a time where he was off for a little bit in the 80s, I think from 82 to 86 or something like that.
Yeah.
Where he was making those real weird albums.
Yeah,
rehabbing it.
I wasn't into that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't big on that. I wasn't big on Constrictor. I wasn't big on
what? I love Constrictor.
I didn't like Constrictor that much. I did love Trash. Trash I loved.
Yeah.
See, that's where I started to
he got a little soft in Trash. That Desmond Child touch he had.
Yeah.
He pops everything up.
Yeah. But Alice, man. Alice is, I love him, but he's hit or miss with me as far as records go. I either love the record or I'm like, it's okay. But when the ones I love, man, I love,
He's my second favorite after Kiss. So
wow.
So I have a lot of Alice memories and things to say about him. So
Mike D, which got Alice Cooper?
From what one of my friends told me, he used to work at a country club in Arizona, my buddy. And one day he looks up and he sees Alice Cooper walking in. And he kind of went up to him. He's like, and he's like, kind of, he's like, yeah, I'm Alice Cooper. He's like, wow. He's like, I love your stuff and everything. He's like, well, why don't you hang out and have lunch with me? He's like, I'm working. I can't. He's like, hold on. And Alice Cooper went back there, talked to his boss, and go have lunch with him.
That's great.
So
that's great.
That's almost like almost like a once in a lifetime thing,
Right. Oh, yeah. Alice rolling up to your boss, like, yo, can we have some lunch together? Take him out for a little bit.
Wow. So I always thought that was pretty cool,
Yeah.
How about you, man?
Like Alice is the man. He's one of my favorites. Welcome to My Nightmares in my Mount Rushmore of top albums.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I love the Alice Cooper band stuff. A lot of stuff they did, with Bob Ezrin in the early days, like the Killer album and School's Out and $1 Billion Babies. Yeah. it was cool that someone was actually the first one to add the horror element to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, great. I mean, I love them. As I get older, I like them more. When I was younger, I wasn't that big on them, but as I got older, I liked them more and more and more. And probably if I had to pick one record, $1 Billion Baby is probably for me.
Yeah,
But there's so much good stuff.
yeah.
There really is. Mike D, who you got on the Shock Rock?
And I'm going to go with probably one of the earlier ones. Damo already mentioned them. Stephen Hawkins. Fucking that's a hell of a shock rock.
That's a shock.
Yeah. Screamin' Jay Hawkins.
What you got on Screamin' Jay?
Well, yeah, man, he was like one of the first original ones, and I don't think like a lot of people even realize like how bizarre he really was.
It was so different, yeah.
Just he had the skulls on the stage. He was like in this like trance the whole time. His eyes were kind of just like almost like a zombie, kind of just like, and the sounds he made, the howling and everything like that, man. Like it was a freak show.
Yeah,
I don't know much about
some
him. I gotta look
stuff.
him up.
Oh, I got some good info for you.
Check some stuff out, man, because it's pretty good.
Yep. Damo, what you got on Screamin' Jay?
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty cool. He was sort of like, dude, really ahead of his time. I mean, it was almost like kind of like voodoo type. Type of shit, and yeah, I mean, musically, yeah, he had that. It was screaming. I mean, he was like one of the first guys to
he used to pop out of a coffin and everything.
Yeah,
it was kind of definitely
really. What's his year? What year did he come out?
50s?
Oh man,
60s? Yeah.
Let's see. He probably 1942. It said he started.
Really?
And he until 1999, and he died in 2000.
Yeah, his hit was "I Put a Spell on You." That was 50.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of bands
spell on you.
Yep.
Because you're mine.
Yeah, I know that song.
So
he was cool.
He was awesome. Screamin' Jay. A lot of background on this guy. I just watched a documentary on him. You could find it on YouTube. The documentary is called "I Put a Spell on Me." That's the documentary, and the whole thing's on YouTube. So I just
think
watched
I've seen that years ago.
It's fucking great. It talks about how he was in the army. He was like a general.
He was a badass.
Like that. He was a badass. He was captured by the Japanese. He was tortured for like weeks. Finally got out. I mean, dude, just fucking crazy shit. Became a musician, and he's like, he became Screamin' Jay because he's like, I can't sing. So he's like, Screamin' Jay, that works. And man, like he got screwed over by the record label, of course. That's the way it was. The black performers didn't get paid what they should have got paid back in the day. They got totally fucking screwed. And all that plays into it, how, even like the Chuck Berry's one, how they don't trust nobody. And Screamin' Jay got screwed pretty good. I mean, that song's still big right now,
Mm-hmm.
And he goes into a lot of that. And he's a character, man. He's really, really a character, and has to be. I mean, he was before Arthur Brown, and so it's like he might have been the first. He might have been the first guy to do all that. Screamin' Jay Hawkins, man, go check out that documentary. It's on YouTube right now. It's so good, and it smartens you up to the music business, especially the way it was back then, because the guys with the money got everything. You as an artist, I don't know if you guys ever seen, what was that movie? Cadillac. About the record label.
Cadillac Records.
Cadillac Records. Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
And it shows you how they picked up all these performers, and they pretty much just, we'll give you a house, we'll give you this, but guess what? You're paying for it. You're never getting that cash. You're getting something. They're giving you a car. They're giving you, whatever, and it shows you how the record companies really, really own the rights to everything. Like Screamin' Jay didn't have money. His money was not there. The record company took the money. He didn't get no royalties. It was so different back then. That's why, like we say here and there with the Metallica thing, when everybody cries about the Napster thing, Metallica is one of the few people that own the rights to their stuff. Okay, we're going to move on to the next shock rocker. What do you got, Ahmed?
Kiss. I have to go in with Kiss.
Yeah, man.
That's what did it for me, man.
Good. Don't let Bert get that.
If I didn't say that, then I couldn't be on here. Yeah, it started from me with Kiss Meets the Phantom. What more do you need?
Yeah, I mean, stage show, everything. I mean, as a kid watching it, That was the first thing I've seen. That's the first thing. That's the one image, besides family and friends and all that stuck in my face or in my head since the beginning of I can remember was that Gene Simmons face.
Yeah.
I've never seen that show.
We might have to watch it soon. I think I
What, Kiss Meets the Phantom?
Yeah.
Never saw it.
You have to see it. It's a great movie to watch if you're all blazed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Kiss Alive 2 album cover, you open up that gatefold. How could you not look at that and be like,
yeah, all the fire and everything.
what more do you need? It was just the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
The whole show from the firehouse with Gene with the fire and Ace with the guitar. And I just don't know how anybody could not enjoy a Kiss show. I think people read into it, a little bit too much. It's even funny, like when people would ask them questions in the 70s, well, why this? Why that? And then they're just like, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's straight up entertainment. Enjoy yourself.
You know what, Ahmed? You guys have been really like bleeding over on me now because I'm a little more of a Kiss fan now than I was.
There you go.
See?
So I actually and I listened to them before, but I actually dug out my Kiss albums that I had. So I plan on throwing them on soon.
There you go.
See, I'm glad to hear that. Kiss Meets the Phantom is the perfect movie to watch around this time, actually.
That might be I mean, we shot 2 episodes. We shot an episode before this that we're going to put a little quicker because I'm going to be away for a little bit. But when we come back, that might be the last one of October. We'll do a couple things I think Kiss Meets the Phantom we should talk about.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I think we should definitely talk about that. Damo, what you got on Kiss?
Yeah, I mean, everything's been said. I mean, they took what Alice Cooper did to another level.
Yeah,
definitely like one up, and then they kind of set the standard for the big, for the big shows, the presentation, the fire. I mean, nobody really used fire like they did,
Yeah.
And flying all around the stage and shit. I mean, you see million bands, like Paul Stanley says, you go see any other concert, and our DNA is in all their shows. It's basically like, whenever you see somebody flying across the arena, they did it, or fire,
Yeah, they were the first ones to really do it.
Mm-hmm.
And which reminds me of when Motley Crue did their farewell tour. They got all bunched up because they were trying to say that Kiss was stealing their show or whatever.
Yeah.
I went to both shows, and I gotta be, if I'm being honest with myself, there was a moment where I'm just like, that looks like Kiss.
Yeah.
That looks
like
when
they're flying over everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were saying, no, we did that. It's like bullshit, dude. They did it 35 years before.
Yeah, what about when Mick Mars did the blood thing for a little bit before they got? It's kind of, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I just there's this weird tension between Kiss and Motley Crue. I've never really understand it, but I think they don't like being compared to Kiss for some reason.
Yeah. Well, and guess what? All that stuff in the 80s stemmed from Kiss or Led Zeppelin. Really. If you look at all the bands that were coming out, it's before the 90s hit the Sabbath and all that. But before that, anything 80s that came out that was kind of in our genre was either Kiss or Zeppelin. It was either one,
Mm-hmm.
From your Kingdom Comes, your Motley Crues and,
W.a.s.p.
W.a.s.p. Which, you know what? I wasn't going to bring them up yet, but since Ahmed mentioned them, I'm going to go with W.a.s.p.
My bad.
No, that's good. That's good. Great segue. So W.a.s.p. W.a.s.p. maybe mid 80s later on, maybe not so much, but that first tour, 80s. That first tour, they were insane. Yeah. They had the girl on the thing, the rack, they had the meat, they had the blood thing, ass cheek sticking out from Blackie Lawless. It was insane.
What did W.a.s.p. stand for?
We are sexual perverts, I think.
That was it? Okay.
It depends on who you ask, because some
or
people
we are
that
people,
or we are Satan's people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody had a different thing back then for what they wanted to say. It was more of a PMRC thing.
Yeah. You know what? I remember a live one where he actually said in the beginning or something, we're W.a.s.p., we are sexual perverts, and they just started rocking.
I believe
so,
it. Yeah,
that's what I always thought it meant too. So I was never sure though if he was even just throwing the bullshit out there then.
Damo, what do you got on W.a.s.p.? What's your memories on W.a.s.p.?
Yeah, Blackie kind of took the kind of got into all that satanic panic stuff that was really big back in the 80s. It was all that not that they really did any or said that they were like devil worshippers like other bands and shit, but they definitely like the cool thing I always liked was when they had the skull filled with blood and he's like this and the blood comes dripping down, and then he had the
Didn't you do the cod piece or something?
the cod piece and shit with the blade, and he would bring a girl, put her on the
Crazy shit you
rack
couldn't do
and
now.
everything,
Yeah, it's
and then
crazy.
the W.a.s.p logo would go up in flames, and they would throw raw meat out to the crowd. And
That first tour was insane.
yeah,
I know. I have that VHS, the Live at the Lyceum.
Yes.
And they had two versions of it. They had a 5-song version and a 10-song version. I have the 10-song version. But it was. I'm just like, this looks like an Alice Cooper Kiss show. I'm sorry. Like, there's all moments where, like, when Randy Piper does his little guitar solo thing, he's got this smoking pipe
hook up,
thing on. And I'm just like, that looks just like Ace.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing, like you were saying, with the skull, with the blood, I'm like, that looks like Gene.
Yeah.
For me, Blackie's voice, I always love Blackie's voice, man. And guess what? Not even the heavy stuff. I love when he's on a ballad. I just love, he's got this scratch, and I love the scratch. So good. And they were, like I said, when they first came out, like Ahmed said, that VHS tape, I had that too, and that was insane. It was just crazy. You can find that on YouTube too. I looked that up not too long ago. That's on there too.
Those first two records were just so good.
Best.
Love it.
And then I don't know. My opinion, it's hard for me to listen to anything after that.
I like the Crimson Auto. I like Hellish Children. I like them too.
Yeah, I got to listen to those too because everybody says that they're really good.
They're good.
They're solid,
they're
but I never really gave them a chance, honestly. But
I'm with you. I fell off after The Last Command. Like, I was barely holding on during Inside the Electric Circus.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah,
and Live in the Raw, only because it was a professional live album of the first 3 albums. But yeah, by the Headless Children, I was gone.
Yeah.
But listening to that album today, I dug it up in recent years, and that's actually a really good album.
Damo, what you got, Shock Rock?
Well, I'll go with the guy behind me, King Diamond. He was like the first guy that I remember that was really into Satan.
Legitimately scary.
Like he was like remind me of Gene Simmons, but like fucking 100 times more
real.
Like real. Like, oh yeah, he was a demon. He has got the upside down cross and everything, and it was just the whole imagery, the name King Diamond and everything, and the stuff with Merciful Fate was like really dark, and it kind of reminded me of like listening to like a satanic mass or something, And he used to come out and say, I'm a Satanist and all this stuff, and it was that was like the height of the satanic panic 80s,
Yep. Mike D, you remember King Diamond Merciful Fate?
I do. I just was never a big King Diamond fan at all. Like, it's just like, he looks scary kind of thing, cool, and he's got the backstory and everything. And then I would hear the music, and I'm like, oh man.
I mean, the voice. Just the voice that we get.
It's that voice, man. That high squeal. I'm like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Ahmed, what you got on King Diamond?
Almost the same. I liked a few of his songs. Family Ghost. Family Ghost and them. Not too much. My friend saw him at a club here that used to be in Glen Mills called Pulsations way back in the day.
Oh, I remember that club, yeah.
And he was telling me about his show. Yeah, he was for real, man. He was on some other shit. He was Satan for real.
Yeah.
So, but I thought he was pretty cool. I don't really know too much of his stuff. My friend Ryan is really into him.
Yeah, dude, I'm a big King Diamond Merciful Fate guy. Man, and I don't like usually singers that sound like that, but for him, it works for me. Man, yeah, I love them. I love all the Merciful Fate stuff. I love all the King Diamond stuff. I like the album. If you're looking for a King Diamond album that's fucking great, get The Eye. The Eye's the record. For me, The Eye's the record.
Well, clear something up for me real quick on the King Diamond Merciful Fate thing. Was he King Diamond first and then Merciful Fate, or was
Merciful Fate.
Merciful Fate was first.
Was
yeah.
he painted up in that project?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where it came from?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, then
I
he
never
left
understood that.
I think he was in a band called Black Roses or something like that before that. Something like that.
Yeah, and then that kind of
became Merciful Fate.
Yeah. But
Which one's better?
King Diamond, Merciful Fate's pretty close.
They're definitely two different bands. I mean, Merciful Fate is sort of kind of always remind me of like a darker version of Judas Priest.
Yeah.
And King Diamond, his solo band, is more like metal, little proggy.
A little more proggy. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, well, maybe more technical will probably be a better word, but definitely like more of a technical metal kind of thing. Definitely two totally different things.
Yeah.
Musically though.
Maybe some of the earlier stuff might be hard to swallow, but if you're looking for a King Diamond record, I would say The Eye. And if you're looking for a Merciful Fate record, I would say In the Shadows. Then you can go backtrack to the older stuff, which is still great. The Oath is great, and so is Melissa.
Yeah.
I know King Diamond up to them. I know Fatal Portrait.
Oh, them I love.
Abigail and them. And I think Conspiracy
was
one.
Great too. Yeah.
Yeah, and after that's where I kind of fell off.
Yeah, his stuff got a little muddy after that.
They're all stories.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good storyteller. I wish he would put out like a short film or something,
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah.
His stuff. I think that's why I liked it. I think it was kind of like you had like these little horror novel kind of things. Like I said, The Eye's like maybe 2 or 3 stories mixed in. I mean, everything he has is connected somewhere. Even if it's only 2 or 3 songs, something's connected. But I just love the stuff. It's got its own thing. Mike D, what do you got? Shock Rock.
Nelson. No, I'm kidding.
No, man, shocking you mentioned that.
Yeah.
I'm really, I mean, how does this even get mentioned in the same paragraph? But and this is one I don't even know about. Maybe somebody else here does, but I mean, I think it's got to be mentioned, and it's just not my thing. But G.G. Allen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I never bought into the G.G. Allen thing.
It was like he was a total heroin addict maniac.
Throwing shit on his fans and spitting, pissing on them, jerking off on them.
I don't even think musically. He didn't really do anything there.
Nothing.
He would literally take a shit on stage and
horrible
people and
I don't know much about him. I don't even think I want to know about him, but I mean, I guess he has to be put on the list somehow. Or
he was shocking.
But
he was shocking.
Yeah, I think it was more real than an act too. So
Oh yeah, he was messed up. I'm at anything with G.G. Allen.
Man, I saw that dude on an episode of Jerry Springer, and I'm just like, wow, like I'm afraid to like him or even go to a show, because if he throws some shit on me, I'm sorry, we're fighting. Fuck that.
That's probably what he would have wanted too. He was that fucked up.
Yeah. I was never a fan.
No,
I was never a fan. All right, we can move on to the next guy. Ahmed, what you got? Shock Rock.
I'll go Twisted Sister.
Nice.
I always thought Twisted Sister was cool. They the ugliest drag queens I've ever seen.
Yeah, totally.
But they can fucking play. I don't even care.
Yeah.
But I always thought they would have been a lot cooler if they looked the way they did in the "You Can't Stop Rock and Roll" video.
Right.
Like the biker look.
The biker look. Yeah.
I felt like that fit them better, because when they came on, we're talking early 80s, and I kind of felt like Kiss had already been here, Alice had already been here, Motley Crue was coming out. I just felt like there wasn't a need for like another band with makeup by this point.
Yeah, they didn't need it.
I thought they were just better off without it.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't get past D's little mole here. That thing used to always bother me. But music-wise, I thought they were the shit. Stay Hungry is
great record. Yeah.
Come Out and Play, Under the Blade. That's all good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What you got, Damo and Twisted Sister?
Yeah, they're one of my my favorites from that era. Definitely like just like really rebellious, hard rock and stuff. But I mean, their look is definitely a shocking look. You see these guys. I mean, dude, they're big motherfuckers that will fuck you up.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, and you see them looking like that. It's like you're not gonna call them.
Right. Mark Mendoza's a big dude.
Oh yeah, he'll fucking like break you in half. So,
and his bass.
Yeah, he pounds that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they were like these big biker dudes that were dressed in drag, which is crazy.
Yes, and which was fucking funny, man. Not
But weird,
it
yeah,
was-
it's strange.
Yeah, I
It's
was like,
strange.
whoa, it's
Look, if you're going to dress like that, you got to be able to back it up.
Yeah.
yeah, and man, you know what? I like you gotta like they're one band. Like usually bands put out live albums and stuff. I just don't really pay attention to it, but their live shit is so friggin' good because it's the shit that goes on in between the songs. Like Dee
Yeah.
Snider is like probably my top 5 favorite frontmen because especially back then, like in the 70s and 80s when he was like pissed off.
Yeah.
Dude, he would call people out like if they're not paying attention, and he would tell, because everybody in the crowd, they're all like, teenagers in high school. He would like tell them to go, fuck school and fuck your parents and shit like that. And like it was all about like teenage rebellion and shit.
And he was
You know,
straight as an arrow.
Straight as an arrow, yeah.
Never. Yeah,
Didn't drink, didn't do anything.
Yeah, you gotta read his biography because it's one of the rare like musician biographies that there's like no drugs in it because he didn't do any of that shit. But just hearing his story, how all the how they struggled through the early days trying to make it, and then when he did make it and they crash and burn and he lost everything and kind of rebuilt himself back up, it was really, really interesting.
Yeah, it was weird. It's like their story and Quiet Riot's story in the beginning kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah,
it really
parallel.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, because same thing. They struggled for a long time. They finally had a huge record, and it wasn't an overnight sensation, and most people thought it was.
Yeah,
them guys were struggling.
Yeah,
for a long time.
there were 70s bands.
Yeah,
Twisted Sister's been around since like 73 or 74 or something.
yeah, doing the club circuit and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, Mike D, what you got on Twisted Sister?
So I really didn't get into them till later. And this is funny because I remember, I was young. I must have been about 6, 7 years old. And we had like show and tell in music. So each week somebody had to bring in a band. And like, I was more of like, even at that age, like Beatles, like I really didn't know too much current. So I think I said to one of my friends, like, what's popular now? Or what do I like? He's like, here, bring in Twisted Sister. He's like, he put it to the spot. And it was like, we're not going to take it. So I didn't even know the song. I just handed it to the teacher. They put it in and played it. It's like, all right. But that was about it until like 20 years later.
Yeah, man. I love Twisted Sister, and I would say for me, the 2 albums you need is Stay Hungry and Live at Hammersmith. Live at Hammersmith is
great.
Man.
Yeah,
that's definitely the record. Like Dame said, all the live stuff that was in between is great. I'm going to go on to I think you're pretty shocky, if that's a word. Gwar.
Oh yeah.
What do you got on Gwar, Damo?
I honestly, musically, I don't know anything about them, but I know that their stage show is pretty legendary. Throwing blood out. It's I always thought they looked cool as shit.
Oh yeah.
They didn't look human.
Yeah.
Like the costumes were so like interesting looking. Just I never been to a show. It's not really my thing, but it may be cool to check it out sometime just to experience it.
It's worth it, definitely. How about you, Mike D?
Are they still around?
Yes. I mean,
Yeah, they still tour.
Dave Rocky passed away, but they still play. It's no, I don't think there's any original members right now.
Yeah.
Nah, that's what I heard. I think he was the last one, right?
Might have been, yeah.
Him and the beefcake.
Beefcake.
Almighty or something.
Yeah.
But they've had like rotating members dressed up
For a long time.
Yeah.
Like music wise, it's funny because like I didn't listen to them for years. Like I knew the image, I thought they were cool looking, but I really didn't. Like, I might have heard 1 or 2 songs of them, but I kind of thought they were like a heavy band, and they're really like not that heavy. They're
kind
of
of
like
heavy comedy, punk,
kind
metal,
of funky at times,
a little of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, they're interesting. They're not horrible. But I guess the whole image thing is to go to one of their shows and get jizzed on
it. Yeah, I'm there. What you got on Gwar?
I love Gwar. I've seen Gwar a couple times at City Gardens and at the Troc. Yeah, they were signed to Metal Blade, just kind of like a comedy metal punk band. Yeah, I thought they were pretty cool. The whole idea is going to the show, wear all white, come out pink and red. Yeah, pink and red and everything. Yeah, but I was a fan of Gwar. I like Gwar.
Yeah, I'm
Gum
a fan.
Dogs of the Universe is a good album.
That's the record. Yeah. The first 4 Gwar records I love. I mean, all 4 of them I love. After that, fell off a little bit, but the first 4 I really like, especially when it came to like Scum Dogs and what's
America Must
Be Destroyed. They were my 2 favorites.
Yeah.
They were ballsy. The songs were good. The melodies were good. The comedy was great that was mixed in, the different characters. And I seen Gwar once, and it's funny. It was me, my cousin. We were in the VIP section, and we were next to one of your buddies. We were next to Bam. It was Bam and some of his guys. We were all there, like in the same section watching Gwar. It was like Gwar, Cradle of Filth, and somebody else at the Electric Factory, and that was pretty cool. All right, moving on. Next one. What you got, Damo?
I want to go with the Misfits. I think they kind of, they're like, when I think of like horror punk or horror rock or whatever you want to call it, metal, they're like the first band I think of, because I think they kind of blended like all the, musical themes of like B horror movies, and the real like kind of campiness and everything. And
I agree.
They had like really, really good, like catchy kind of like
Punkabilly.
punk.
Yeah. There you go.
That's what I would call it.
Yeah.
And I saw them up in Madison Square Garden like 3 years ago, and it was, and I like the Misfits. They're, not, I wouldn't say they're like one of my favorite bands. They're not, but I definitely I'm a big fan of them. But man, one of the top 5 or top 10 concerts I've ever seen was when they played
The reunion.
Madison Square Garden. It was incredible. I mean, the place was sold out.
That's
The
great.
Garden was sold out, and they played every freaking song pretty much that you could think of, and they just sounded great, man. A ton of energy, and just incredible.
Mike D, what you got on the Misfits?
Misfits, yeah, I like the Misfits. Never saw them live. I mean, I don't own much of them really either. I think I just have the box set of theirs, the coffin box,
which is great, but there's just too many of the same songs.
Was it where Eagles? Was it where Eagles fly?
There.
Eagles there?
Were Eagles there? Yeah. I think that's on there about like 7-8 times.
Yeah.
I ain't no goddamn son of a bitch. Yeah. Here it comes again.
Two songs later, I'm like, what the fuck? It doesn't even sound different.
Yeah, you really, if you're just getting into the Misfits, if you get collection 1 and 2, you're pretty good for now.
You know what I do have? I actually, because I thought they were cool, I bought the action figures.
They were nice looking. Yeah.
I still have them.
Nice.
I never opened them.
Very nice.
One of the few things I didn't open.
Right. I'm there. What you got on the Misfits?
I like the Misfits. I like a bunch of their songs, but I couldn't really say that I'm a super fan. I could say I'm a fan because I like enough of their stuff, and I thought that they looked cool, and their stage show was cool and all that, and all their songs were catchy. But I wasn't really like the Misfits like a lot of other people were.
Mm-hmm.
I could put their shit on and be into it, but I wasn't like a super big Misfits fan. I like them enough to rock their shirt or something and listen, but not hardcore like that.
Yeah, I love the Misfits. But I got into them after I got into Danzig. I got into Danzig first, and then I went back, and then I was like, wow, I really like the Misfits.
Yeah.
And the one thing I liked about them is, one, that they were fun sounding. They had a fun, different than the Ramones. They were like the dark Ramones. The Ramones always thought was,
That's why I liked them, because
they were dark.
Kind of reminded me of them that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the Ramones kind of had that 50s thing, and it was a little more happy poppy. And when the Misfits did it, it was that, but it was a darker. The B movie thing. That's where I go to. I just love it.
The campiness.
The campiness. I love it. And Glenn, the way he sings over that stuff, it's just, even when he sings with Danzig, it's his voice. His voice,
Elvis voice.
He's doing the opposite of everything else that's going on, and I just fucking love it.
Yeah.
He don't need to sing heavy. He don't need to sing light. He just does that smooth thing he does.
Lots
and it
of
sounds
melody.
great. Yeah. Melodies are great.
Mm-hmm.
Such a fun band. I never seen the Misfits live.
Same.
Yeah, I never seen them live. I wish I went to the reunion. I didn't go, but
Yeah, if they ever come back, I would highly recommend going to see them because it was a super fun show. It was real high energy. This great time.
Yeah, I really wanted to go to that show that happened a couple years ago, but we actually had a show that night.
That's right, we did. Yeah,
yeah. And one of my friends is in that band. He's playing like second guitar. AC Slate.
Oh, AC Slate. Yeah. That's
So
cool.
He actually did that show, and it was his birthday. So imagine that.
Right.
Playing your hometown at the. I always want to say the Spectrum, but
now, AC AC also played in Murder Dolls. Was he in Murder Dolls?
Yeah, he's in Murder Dolls.
And he was in the local band, Thrash Light. There you go. Yeah. AC's good. Now he's got like a coffee company too, also, right?
Yeah.
Was it Black Cat Coffee? Is that it?
Yeah.
There you go. Cool.
I heard of
I don't know him, but he seems like a cool dude.
He's cool.
Dude. Mike D, what do you got? Shock Rock.
I'm going to take this from you, Albert. Rob Zombie, White Zombie.
I was going to mention.
That's fair. Too. That's fair. What do you got on him?
Yeah, man. I mean, they're probably right now. I mean, he might be probably the shock rock band right now. I mean, he even branched out in the movies, stuff like that. But I saw him live. What was it? Hillbilly Deluxe, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that was a good show.
How about you, Ahmed? What you going to Rob Zombie?
I like Rob Zombie. He's all right. I'm gonna say that. I didn't get too big into his stuff, but I liked his show. I saw him live a couple times, and I always thought his shows were really cool. And I'm not too big of a fan of his movies. I think he's a little too violent, a little too extra, which may sound weird coming from a horror fan, but I think he remade the wrong movie with Halloween. I think he should have, if he would have remade Jason, I think it would have been better.
Right.
But yeah, his live show is dope, and I like some of his songs. Not too much, but I thought White Zombie was better. I'll say that.
Yeah, I always lump them together. I always I always just want to lump them.
I think they were both his brainchild.
Probably. I mean, I love watching or listening to, how he progressed from White Zombie when it first started was almost unlistenable. It really was. Mm-hmm. And then it progressed to something pretty, by the time they came out with like devil music, it kind of really progressed. And then Astro Creep, I fucking love. I love that.
I remember first seeing him in Columbia House. They were kind of pushing him a little bit. And I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, who the hell is this white trash junkie looking dude? Like, that's what he kind of reminded me of at first. Like,
yeah, just like a bomb.
And then it was like a couple years later, I think it was like, of course it was on Beavis and Butthead. That's when they kind of started,
that's when they
getting really big.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. I was like, I probably should have picked this up a couple years ago.
Yeah. I mean, just so good. I never seen him live. I don't know why. I just never seen him live, but everybody I know that sees him live says he goes.
You should.
He goes all out,
I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
And he's got that. He perfected that campy thing. Perfected it. Like, he's got that. And yeah, I mean, it's him when he sings. A lot of the songs kind of sound like it's this, same deal, but I still love it, Yeah. The question, Ahmed, I got for you. He's doing the Monsters movie. You think he's going to put Dragula in the Monsters movie?
That's a good question.
He's got to.
He has to, right?
I hope so. I'd love to see his version.
It should open up with the car. Yeah. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I think I'll watch it like an alternative universe. I love the Monsters, but like I don't want to see him as like some crazed killers. It's going to be weird.
No, I don't know how he's going to pull off the comedy thing with it. So I'm interested.
I think
is it going to be comedy?
I don't.
Oh, there's a little comedy twisting usually in it, right?
Is Al Lewis still alive?
Oh, I don't know.
He might have died recently.
I think they're all dead now. I think maybe Marilyn might be alive.
You might see a cameo if one of them's still alive, though. Yeah,
because it would be cool if he could get Al Lewis to be Grandpa in it still.
It would work. It would really work. It would work.
I think Al Lewis is dead.
Yeah, 15 years ago.
Oh, he did die. Okay.
Oh,
but that would work, Ahmed, because he was older.
The kid's still alive.
That would.
Is he still alive? I thought he died too.
Whatever his name is.
The little dude. Oh, he's still alive. He's still alive. Yeah. You might see him pop up. Knowing Rob Zombie, he might pull somebody out that you haven't seen in a long time. So Yeah, he's good for that. So you might see him.
Marilyn is alive.
Dude, the greatest thing with the Monsters.
Was that her name, Marilyn? Yeah,
it was Marilyn. Yeah.
Monster.
Greatest things with the Monsters was that they all looked at her like she was the weird one. Which was great. I love that show, man. I think he'll do a real good job. Ahmed,
better, man.
what do you got for Shock Rock? You got anybody else?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Marilyn Manson.
There you go. That's a good one.
Now, Marilyn Manson in around 96. That's when I first heard of him. I wasn't a fan of him. I was saying about Twisted Sister, they don't need to do all that. And by 96, I was definitely done. But what turned me on to him was the VMAs in 97 when he played there and did the Beautiful People there. And the whole crowd was just watching, just like shocked, like, what the fuck is going on? And somehow by watching that, I got in a trance and just turned into Marilyn Manson, and I was all about it. And from there, I went out and got this video. What was it called?
Dried Up Dead to the World.
Yeah, and just
great. Yeah, it's great.
Soaked it all up. And Mechanical Animals.
Yeah, great record. Mechanical Animals, yeah.
So yeah, I like Marilyn Manson. I thought he was cool.
We got Damo Manson.
Honestly, I'm not like really a big fan musically, but I always liked what he's done, and I would probably put him in the top 5 if there was a list. I mean, dude, when he came out, I mean that was
he was over the top,
shocking. It was like something you never even seen before. Like made Alice Cooper look like the Pope.
Yeah, he took Cooper and Bowie and just went somewhere else with it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was the definition of like shock. I mean, he just knew what to do. He just knew how to push everybody's buttons to get a reaction.
Yep.
He definitely got it. Yeah,
absolutely. Mike D, what you got on Marilyn?
Yeah. I think he caught like about the tail end of the Headbangers Ball, I think, right?
Yes, that's how I discovered him.
Because I'm like, and when I first saw it, I'm just like,
yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this?
What is this, Sam? 1 or 2 albums, I'll be done.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm still not like a huge Manson fan. I don't dislike him, but I don't own anything by him. It's like I never really say, hey, let me listen to some Manson.
Yeah.
But if it's on, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm not,
but for me, first time I seen him was Headbangers Ball. I think you actually were playing the Spectrum with 9 Inch Nails. They were touring with 9 Inch Nails, and they were on Headbangers Ball the next night or the day before, something like that. And I seen him, and I was like, I love the gimmick. So I was like, what the hell is this? It was the craziest shit I ever seen. Like, he was out of control, man. Back then, he would do the weirdest fucking. You're like, it was shocking. Like, you were like, what the fuck is he doing? It was out of control in the beginning. And Antichrist Superstar was a great record also. The first Portrait of American Family was great. Antichrist was great. Mechanical Animals was awesome. They went a little clammy with that one. And the one after that, which was Cross something like that one. But whatever won that one, that was good too. And then after that, it kind of fell off a little bit. And the last 2 records have been okay. But the first 4 or 5, unbelievable. The first 4 or 5 are unbelievable. I always, the first 4 or 5, I'm a huge Manson fan. Seen him live twice, great. Got a chance to meet him once, and he was actually super cool. So,
I can see that.
Yeah, he was way cooler than you would think. It's crazy,
He's deep. Like I love all of his interviews. He's really deep.
Yeah. Well, he's smart. He's like a D. Snyder guy, where it's like he's smarter than you think he is, kind of deal.
Like they always try him, man. He comes back with this statement that's just like, wow, I thought I was going to get some stupid answer out of this guy, and he floors him every time.
I think that whole thing that happened with the shooting hurt his career somehow, where he got blamed for whatever,
Columbine.
Which is ridiculous to blame an artist. It's like a movie. It's like a video game. It's like, you got to be able to separate.
Well, it depends on what you like. If he's saying, hey, go, do this.
Yeah,
or
but
whatever,
he's not.
but,
Yeah.
Right.
His answer to that was the best, though, when they were just like, if these kids came to you, what would you say to them? And he said, I wouldn't say anything. I would listen to them, which is what no one ever thought to do. I thought that was perfect.
Yeah. Yep. Great answer, man. I'm going to go with Ghost. I think that's the future. I absolutely love them. I never seen them live yet. I'm going to try and go see them this year. Man, they just get better and better with each record. And it's funny because, me and Dame were actually talking about this last night. They look one way and you're expecting one thing and you get another. And I love that yin yang thing, uh, the heavier the music and the sweeter and melodic the voices, I like it even more. You throw that heaviness with that big pop flavor into it and look the way they look and have the stage show they have. I'm sold. I'm definitely sold. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, when they first came out, I was like, you would think, I would even tell my friends, like, man, you would think that they would be like my favorite band, but just musically, it didn't really do anything for me until like the last two records. They kind of like got it right, I think, and just the songs are so good now. And then I saw them live. I saw them live a couple times. But the last time I saw them when they played at the Tower Theater in Philly, man, it was just like I was just blown away. There was a great show. I mean, and then now I've been kind of like on a kick and going back, listening to the older stuff, and I appreciate it more, and I get it, and I do like a lot of those songs. But yeah, it's definitely shocking. The whole persona thing is like really cool, and you don't know the names of the people and everything. And what I really liked too, which kind of remind me of like Kiss and everything, like you didn't know what this guy looked like for years.
Yeah.
So it was like the whole mystery thing, which is almost impossible to do in this day and age,
Right. Like, did you know?
So, yeah.
They change, supposedly it changes each singer with each album, and you're like, is that a different guy? Is that a different guy? Because you weren't sure in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I always kind of figured.
Was it?
I always knew it was him.
It was always the same guy.
He would just change a mask.
Yeah,
and play the thing like the Pope died. He's a new Pope. Rename himself. I think it's pretty clever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mike D, what you got on Ghost?
You kind of got me into them, but I don't own anything of them, but I'd probably buy a couple of their vinyls.
Yeah,
it took me a little bit to get into them, but yeah, they got some decent stuff out there.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite bands right now. Ahmed, anything on Ghost?
No, I don't really like them. I tried. I saw them open for Iron Maiden, and I think they played one song that I liked, and the rest I was just kind of like, it's just not working for me. I don't know. Right. I don't like them.
Right. I got you. Damo, anything on Shock Rock? Got another Shock Rock band?
I'm going to say Ozzy/Sabbath.
I could see that, yeah.
Sabbath, I mean, they didn't do anything visually. Actually, like the first album cover is pretty friggin' creepy for that time period. Even now, it still is. But musically, it was like they sound like nothing that you've ever heard. It was like an audio horror movie.
That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
And then then Ozzy as the whole persona, especially like in the 80s, man. Eating a bat and throwing it back into the crowd, and the whole dove, at the press conference, he bit off the dove's head, and he would just do like insane.
He was out of his mind,
type shit.
The urban legends about him alone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's a freaking legend,
Yeah. Mike D, anything on Ozzy?
Nah, what else is there to say?
Yeah. Ahmed?
I love both Black Sabbath and Ozzy. But when you were saying the whole thing about that B movie type thing, like their music sounds like, B movie hard type stuff.
Yeah.
Especially the Black Sabbath, the song.
Yeah.
I love Black Sabbath and Ozzy's solo career.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the urban legends about he was the first person I heard where everybody was just like, "Oh, you like that guy at these concerts? They pass around this bowl and everybody spit in it, and then he drank it."
I remember hearing that. Was that true?
No,
that wasn't true.
But the rumors when you're a kid's crazy.
So many,
and that
urban legends are.
Yeah, that made me want to go see his show or listen to an album. I'm like, am I supposed to be turned off or turned on here? Because now I'm ready to tear through everything he has.
Yeah, it scared me, and that's why I listened to it.
Yeah, and he was always crazy, always taking those weird pictures, like
Yeah. Dude, I remember, I don't know if this is true or not, but I remember back in the day, I guess it might have been the U.S. festival around there where he shaved his head, which was different because everybody had hair, right? And the rumor was, I don't know if it's true or not, that he mailed his wife his hair, like in
a shoebox of his hair.
A shoebox. She did. Okay.
Yeah.
Ozzy's a legend. Total legend, man. I love Ozzy. And I love the voice. And Sabbath is probably my second favorite band.
Yeah.
I really think about it. It's probably my second favorite band. Just so good. I was listening to because you always think of the early Sabbath stuff with Ozzy, and the last two records, you're like, I don't think they're that good. I listened back to Technical Ecstasy. It's fucking great. I loved it. I listened to it the other day. I'm like, I forgot how good this was. I don't remember being this good. It's I have such more of appreciation for it now. Ahmed, Shock Rock, you got anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with this generation's Kiss, Slipknot.
There you go. I
got them next on my list. Yeah,
I love Slipknot. The first album, yeah, and
it's great.
I think I like Iowa a little bit better though.
It's heavy. That's really heavy.
And that's someone finally took the stage show and heavy and put it together perfectly.
Dude, just chaos.
Yeah.
Watch them live. I never seen them live in person, but I've seen video.
Oh, I have.
It's just chaos. It's
I've
like organized
seen them a
chaos.
couple times. Yes.
How good are they live?
You gotta see them. You have to see them.
Now I seen Corey Taylor do an acoustic set, and he was awesome. I love same thing. Slipknot. I like the heaviness, but when he sings, I love it. I love when
great
he sings
singer,
songs.
man. Yeah,
he's one of my favorite from. Going back, I wish I would have picked him when we did that thing before with all-star bands or whatever for people to front it.
Yeah.
I should have picked him because he's one of my favorite singers as well.
Yeah.
He could do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a fan of it all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's one of like most sought out guys to write with right now.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys where he writes with a lot of people.
There's like this ongoing joke, like if you read Blabbermouth. It's always like if you read the comments, because the comments are
crazy.
It's like because like Corey Taylor is like in the Blabbermouth headlines pretty much like every day. Yeah. It's always like what does Corey, it could be like some weird news thing about like something totally over, not related, and then somebody will comment, what does Corey Taylor think about this, because he's always in like the Blabbermouth headlines, Corey Taylor comments on, whatever, because I think he's got like a podcast or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's busy. He's like the Dave Grohl of metal.
Yeah, he knows what's up. He's our age.
Yeah. Yep. Mike D, anything on Slipknot?
He's no Machine Gun Kelly.
I was waiting for that. I'm like, come on, man. I was waiting for somebody to say that.
Yeah. I mean, come on, dude. Like, really? Like, I know they might have said something that offended you, but dude, you're never going to live up to that fucking level.
Yeah.
Maybe with your girlfriend, but that's about it.
Yeah. Dude, the rumor was that they asked Corey to do a song. Corey did a song. Supposedly Machine Gun Kelly loved it and denied that he loved it. And Corey was like, nah, it's really not for me. Corey kind of got out of it. And then Machine Gun Kelly pretty much said that started talking crap. And Corey's like, it's because I denied doing it, But yeah, that's crazy. Mike D, anything on Shock Rock?
I mean, the only one I have left is probably Arthur Brown. There's not really too much I know about him. But he's going back there into the 60s.
Probably right after Screamin' Jay, I would say. We'll probably
right after there. But what was the movie? Because Screamin' Jay, I don't think it was him as an actor, but was it American Hot Wax or something? Or was it? I'm trying to think. There was like, it was like a rock and roll movie, and there was a bunch of artists on stage. But I think these two were in the movie together, not the real person, but actors playing them.
Oh wow, no, I didn't know that.
Arthur Brown used to have this like headpiece he put on with the fire coming out of it and everything like that. And he actually did that song "Fire."
Yeah. Dude, in that Screamin' Jay Hawkins movie, he is Arthur Brown's actually with the documentary. Arthur Brown's in it too, and you hear him kind of jam on acoustic version doing that. I put a spell on you because he talks about how he was an influence on him also. So that was that. Yeah, dude, you really got to check out that documentary. It's so worth seeing. Like I said, it might be like an hour and a half long. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
But, I think I watched that a few years ago. I'm gonna have to check it out again.
It was really good. It was really, really, really good. Mixtapes and tasty cakes. See you guys next time.